Alright, so doing the leg IK system, we just want to also make sure that our sticky is actually turned on. So if you go to the attribute editor and go to stickiness, we want sticky to be on. And so stickiness to turn on. I'm going to that in the attribute editor of IK handle attributes and just making sure these are all set to sticky. And I think it might be able to actually hit, nope, G doesn't actually work. So you have to actually select the IK and just go into the attribute editor and set them to sticky. So with those all set to stick, we could actually go back to the channel editor. Okay, from this point, we actually want to grab, so we're going to go up to the joints, starting at the root, and I'm going to select all the left leg IK joints, and then go down here to the left leg, left ball, IK, and left toe IK, and just hit Control 1. And so now all we're seeing is the IK and the joint systems. Okay, so with that, we'll select the left ball IK, and we will hit Control G to group, and we will name this left hill pivot. And we want to move this pivot. So if you hold down, so you hit W to move, and then D, and then middle mouse drag D and hold down V. Okay, so you hold D and then V. Hold down the V and the D key. And then if you middle mouse drag, it'll snap to where we want that. We want that to be on the hill pivot. Okay, and then from here, what we will do is actually grab this, and we're going to group this again. Okay, with this group, we want to name this our toe group. Okay, so we'll name this left toe group, and I'll just put GRP. So with that, we want the pivot to go to the toe. So if we hit DV and go to the toe, that puts our pivot right at the toe group. Okay, and then the next part, we want to group this again, and this one we want to name left foot group, and we want this one to go to the actual ball joint. Okay, so if you hold D, V, and you can actually move this right to that joint. There we go. All right, and then we can open that up a little bit. And so next, what we want to do is grab our left leg, which is basically our ankle, and we're going to group this and name this our ankle pivot. So we'll just select left ankle pivot. And this pivot we want actually going to the ball joint. So DV, and we'll place that right there. Whoops. So D and V, and then middle mouse drag. There we go. Put that right at the ball joint. Okay. And then the toe IK, we'll grab that, and we will hit Control G to parent that, and we will name this one left toe pivot. Okay, and so this toe pivot, we actually want to also go to the ball joint, and so if we go D, V, middle mouse drag to the ball, and so this one we want to go to the, actually, so if we select the ankle pivot and the left toe pivot, and we select the hill pivot and hit parent. So now the foot group should look like so. Okay, so we have our left foot group that's actually driving the foot, and then the left toe group, so we can actually rotate off the toe, and the heel pivot, we can actually rotate off the heel, and the ankle pivot is actually basically, this is where you can roll off the ball of your foot. This basically should say left ball pivot in my opinion, but we'll just leave it at left ankle pivot. And then the toe pivot as well, this is basically our toe. We can actually rotate our toe. Okay, so with that group is actually pretty much set. So we can actually grab this left foot group and then select our left foot IK control and parent that. So now if we hit Control 1 and go back to our foot controller, okay, you can actually see that our left leg is actually, that FK system is set up on there and it's set to go. There's a few different ways to actually control those pivots. We can actually create new objects to control those pivots, or we can just put it onto a set-driven key off of the actual IK foot controller, which is, I'm used to doing it that way. So we'll set it up through a set-driven key, and we can actually, I might just make little controls that actually control that in the IK. I'll just make little box controls for that, so that way it won't be a set-driven key. Just trying something new here. I think that will work just fine. So one other thing that we want to do is actually open that up, open the left foot control up, and what we want to do is do the pull vector for that. So we'll select the left leg pull vector control, and then we want to select the left leg IK and go to constrain pull vector. Okay, so now when we select that pull vector, we can actually twist that knee. Okay, so for this one, we'll just do the same, grab that left leg pull vector control. Actually, the left leg's not set up yet, so or the right leg's not set, so we won't do that quite yet. Okay, so we can do the right leg next. So we just want to make sure we go up to our right leg IK, and then also select our right leg IK objects and Control 1. That'll parent those. Okay, so first thing we want to do is grab our ball IK, and from here we want to group that and name this right, oops, double click, so right heel pivot, and we'll put that pivot at the heel joint, so D and V. That's going to the actually heel, not the ball. So heel joint, and then we will Control G this guy and name this right toe group. And this toe group, we want to go to the toe joint, so D and V and drag to the toe. And then we'll grab the toe group and actually go Control G. This one we will name right foot group, and this one we will put at the ball joint, so D and V, and drag that to the middle. Okay, and then the toe IK, we'll grab that toe IK and we will group that and name that right toe pivot. Okay, And then we'll grab the right leg IK and we will group that and name this right ankle pivot. Okay, and we'll grab those two. So we'll grab the ankle pivot, the toe pivot, and actually go to the, select the heel pivot and parent. Okay, so with that one, just want to make sure that these are all right here. So my heel pivot is going to the heel, and the ankle pivot, actually we want to go DV and put this one to the ball joint. And then the toe pivot, we want to go to the ball joint as well. So right foot group goes to the ball joint, toe to the toe group, heel pivot goes to the heel, ankle pivot goes to the ball, toe pivot goes to the ball as well, and that should be good. And so I just want to make sure that these, so if I hit Control 1, bring those all back, I just want to actually make sure this is all set properly. Yep. Okay, that's good. Alright, so this right foot group, I can select the right foot controller and parent. So this one looks right. And so here I'll grab the right leg pole vector controller and just open up the right foot IK control and go to select the right leg IK and then go to constrain pole vector. And so here our knee is following, which is right. And we're going to add that twist. Alright. So for this next section, actually going to go and add the IK controllers for the heel, ball, and toe, so we can actually rotate off of those